Hi, it's Dave, or Image Maker UK, and here is part 3 of the beginner's guide to DCC, and I think this is one of the cooler functions of it. You can have two trains running on the same track, as you maybe already know, but what this video is about what is technically referred to as a consist, or consisting two locomotives or more. In real world terms, you'd probably call this double heading, or maybe a multiple unit. So I'm going to demonstrate using the Bachmann controller how it is done, and for that we're going to use this load haul class 37 you have here, and we'll mate it up with another class 37 and create a consist or a double head. So first of all, come to our controller, and what you have showing is the class 37 load haul. So to add that into a consist, you press the consist, and it's done similarly but obviously with different keys on every other DCC controller. So I press consist on this one. It says add to consist, and it's asking for an ID for a consist. I want a blank space is number 19, so it'll be that will be its address. So that is now part of that consist, even though it still shows the loco. Now what we want to do is, it shows the consist indicator there as well, just to let you know it is part of it. So we want to now select the other locomotive, which is loco number 20, and you see that's my class 37 in Dutch livery. And what I'll do is I shall bring it up and we shall couple them together. Like that. Now, all we have to do now is add the second locomotive to the consist. So if I press consist again with that loco still showing, it will ask for the consist ID. You press that, which is 19, and confirm, and it is now part of that consist. Now, what we do now is we go to loco selection and 19, and it shows it's consist 19, and these locos will now operate together. So still with these showing as consist 19 on there, I'll simply tell them to move off, and there we go. You now have a very powerful double headed class 37. Now I'll bring them to a stop just here. And to verify that they are acting as one unit, I'll just change the direction, which will switch the lights. We now have tail lights, or would have tail lights on that one, if you could see them properly. And if I bring the camera around, you can see it is ready to set off. in this direction. So let's just do that. So if I bring these to a stop again, just one last thing to show you. Now if I switch direction, you'll see the headlights are on, but you will also notice that the headlights are on the second unit. Now if you want to correct that, it is very simple to do. So although these are still in a consist, which is showing here as consist 19, both locomotives that can still be controlled, although not speed wise, via the controller. So if I select the second loco, which is loco 20, you see that's the 37 Dutch come up, which the second loco is. It shows it's still in the consist, and it shows its little lights is still on, a little light indicator. So if I simply press the button to turn those off as I would normally, you can see they go off. And similarly, if I was to go to the load haul locomotive, which is 39, it shows exactly the same, the consist and the lights. I can turn those lights off, and those go off as well. But if I was to run this, I would have the second locomotive, the Dutch, hooked up to any freight or coaches, whatever it is they're pulling, and have this one, because there is no coupler mainly on the front, as the front running loco, so I would want lights on that. So I'll just turn those back on, and it shows it back on with the lights. And I will now return to the consist, and that is it set to go. Hook up with freight. I think you'll agree all of that is pretty simple to do. So the only thing now you may be wondering is, now that you have a consist, how do you get the locos back to normal and separated, if you like? Well, that is equally simple to do. Right, on the controller here we have the consist 19 showing. We'll go to the load haul and make it a separate entity first. So what you do is you select the locomotive 39. There we go. And all you have to do is press the consist button, and the consist disappears. Now that locomotive will now function by itself. I'll just show you that moving. And it's no longer part of the consist. If I go to consist 19, there is only one locomotive in that, and that is the back one. So if I just move that, the Dutch liveried one will move, but the front one won't. So what I want to do now is remove the Dutch liveried loco from the consist as well. So we go to it, which is loco 20, consist, and the consist indicator disappears. I'll just pop the lights back on for it, and I'll reverse the direction so we don't have a crash, and it can now move off by itself too. And everything is now back to normal. so to speak. So that is how you manage consists. It's quite simple. Step 1 was get a locomotive, press the consist button, assign an address to the consist, which in this case was 19, and you add it. The second step was to get another locomotive, couple them together. In this case, this one, which was locomotive 20. You press the consist button and it asks you which address to add it to, which consist. You press 19 and confirm, and then you have a fully double-headed locomotive. Now you can add a third locomotive on as well, but I have never done it, and I probably don't really see any reason to do it. And I believe there's a maximum of 5 you can do, but that's just a bit bizarre if you want to have 2 at the front, 1 in the middle and 2 at the back. I think all pretty much anybody would do would be having the 2 consisted together. So that's all I've certainly ever bothered with, and it's a lot of fun. And since one of the reasons I got the Dutch liveried one, which I reviewed just recently, that is why I put the double coupling on, because I'm going to run this configuration mainly as a double consist, or double headed, sorry, a single consist, which is a double headed configuration. So you can look out for that in future videos. So I hope that's been of some help to you, and happy double heading. Okay, hi guys. So in order to correct the nonsense I spoke earlier about speed and consists, I didn't realise I'd said it until I reviewed the completed video, so this is why I'm sticking this bit on at the end. I don't know why I said it, because what I said was it sounded as though you can only control the speed of the consist from the actual consist when it's up itself, which is nonsense, because normally when I control a consist, I control that consist from whichever locomotive is in front, just so I can get the added benefit of being able to control the lighting, and if I stop it, I switch the lights round and then I control the opposite loco. So I'll just show you what I mean. So I'll set these off. You can see I've got them separated, so even though they're not coupled, they will move off together, proving they're in the consist. And then I will show you the speed. The locos will disappear from the screen. They might reappear before I'm finished, but here we go. So if I now make them move off, a bit slower, and go to loco 39, which is the load haul, it shows it's still in the consist, and you can see it's also got its speed, which I just set it off at. And if we go to the other one, I must tell you that I've changed the Dutch livery in the time it's taken me to put the video together to loco 34. You can see it's still in consist, and it has the speed shown for it there. Now I can control the consist from that loco if I want, which I will. No, I'll go back to 39, because that's how I would normally do it, the one with the lights, and I'll just bring them both to a stop. So they're both stopped. If we go back to whoops, don't want to do that, it's a bit silly. If we go to the consist, speed is back to 0, we go to loco 34, which is Dutch, speed's by 0 and still in consist. And if I want to control it from that locomotive, I'll just do the same. Off they go again. And equally, go to the consist, the speed is up, and go to loco 39, and it's showing the speed. So that's my little correction. I usually control it from the loco running in front, but obviously you need the consist set up, which is 19, otherwise they wouldn't run together. So that is the end of the video. Sorry about that little mistake, and see you next time. Thanks for watching.